Aloha na homana and parents. My name is Kumu Kim and welcome to the study plan. In this episode, we will be covering grade 3 week 2 spelling words. What is the main idea? Grade 3 week 2 spelling words for Moor, using short and long vowel sounds as well as a couple of irregulars. So let's get into some examples of what that looks like for the sounds and the rules, and also how some irregular sounds might play out.
So for our first one, short vowel sounds, which are going to be a, I, and ah. Next are going to be two vowels go walking, where the first vowel in each grouping of vowels will say its name. So we have E, O, and A. After that are some irregular sounds, where these phonic sounds should say something different, like AR should say R, but it says air, and CH should say ch, but it says sh.
Now that we know what we're doing, let's get into it.
So, what we covered is short vowels, right? It's going to be next, left, help. After that, two vowels go walking. This is where you have two vowels right next to each other, and the first letter says its sound. So we have the word please and seen. After that, we have irregular sounds. So these words, even though they might have a two vowels go walking or one vowel that's right there in the front, they don't necessarily make their sounds correctly. So we have believe, many, very, been, and she. Okay? So let's start breaking these words apart and spell phonetically. So for our first word, next, n, e, s, t. Okay. We really have to help them understand, and this is why we draw the lines, is that there's a separation between the x and the t sound. So there's four letters. So we're helping them identify where these sounds in the word are. Sometimes they might move past the x or write it in the wrong place, and vice versa with the t, because the x, t don't always sound the same. So let me do it one more time. N, e, x, t. Next. Next. Left. That's o, e, f, t. Okay. After that, it's going to be help. So, e, o, p. Okay. Again, with that lip popper sound for the P. So it pops and is airy at the beginning. At the end of it, we don't add the sound, so it's not p, it's p. Okay. After that, now we start getting into our two vowels go walking. So we have the first word, please. That's p, o, e, z. And the sound stops right there. So because the sound stops at the S, we're going to add an X at the E so that they know that it doesn't make a sound, and that's a silent E. Okay? And we call them silent E boppers. So that X there helps our students know that that line that we put there should be a letter, but that it doesn't make any sound. That's why there's no number. So one more time, p, o, e, z. And the sound stops right on that last line with the one underneath it. Okay? After that, we have seen. S, e, n. Okay. Now we're going to get into our regulars. So believe. Now, this word believe, I like to teach it in a way that it does not come across the way that it sounds, because we want our students to envision what this sounds like. Okay, this IE that we have in the middle, even though that's there, it doesn't say I, which it should, but it actually says E. Okay, so that's why it's an irregular sound. And this is two syllables, believe. Okay, so for our first syllable, B, E, we break it apart and make sure that there's that line there to let them know this is one syllable and leave is the next one. However, I like to get it so that we are applying phonetic rules. So that IE should actually say I, not E. So I'm going to say O, I, V, again with that silent E at the end. So the I is a two vowels go walking. The first letter says its name. That's why I'm going to say be live. So we can help the student understand the phonics rule for IE rather than this irregular sound that spells it like that. So eventually they'll get it and just realize that it's spelled a different way, even though we're applying a certain phonics skill. Because they'll use the word properly, but we need to get them to have these cues as they write the word. All right, next word. So we say many, but we're going to break this apart by saying man. So a, n, and then e at the end. Okay, so E, a lot of your students are going to write, or children are going to write the letter E, but we need to remind them, all right, even though it makes the letter E sound, so it says E, what letter makes the E sound, but is not an E at the end of a word? Okay, after that, we have very. So in this ER, we hear the word air, right? ER is usually a sound that makes right? We call them R-controlled sounds. So if we break this apart, we're going to go V, E, okay? So that we're helping them spell phonetically correct rather than the improper way which we say it, okay? All right. Next, bin. Bin should be B-I-N, right? That's what we're actually saying, bin. But again, with English being the way that it is, we say things improperly because that EE is a two vowels go walking sound. So we're going to spell phonetically correct again, but not the way that it looks. Okay, so B-E-N, right? With a two vowels go walking in the middle for the EE. And our last word, she, sh, E. All right, that's it for these words.
All right, Ohana, let's review.
So we have our short vowel sounds, which we covered are going to be the vowels that we talked about, a, I, e, and ah, where they'll state its sound when it's not saying its name. Okay, next is two vowels go walking, right? The rule is when two vowels go walking, the first one says its name. After that is the irregular sounds, where these irregular words are going to be spelled one way, but don't play fair.
If you found this content helpful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe down below for the next one. Mahalos.